Hi everybody, I wanted to, before I get started, apologize for the screaming children outside in the neighborhood. There's nothing I can do about them. They are feral. So, anyway, I just wanted to talk to you about your Shakespeare project. We are now officially in the dialogue unit of the course, and this Shakespeare project that you're going to have, which I refer to as a choose your own adventure project, you will be working on for the next month of the class, roughly. So, before you watch this video, if you have not already gone to the bottom of the Edmodo post and clicked on the actual project description, do that first. So pause here, go ahead and download that document. I attached it both in a Word document and a PDF format, whatever works better for you. I will wait. Okay. So if you have read over that information, essentially, to me, the reason that I'm doing it this way and the reason I did this way last semester, the part of the whole joy of doing a play is being able to act it out in person. And normally I have a giant bag of costumes and props, and we kind of take our time with it and basically perform lots of it in class together and then watch it in class together and react to it. You can't really get that experience in an online environment or in a Zoom environment. So that being what it is, being at the point that you are in your development and in your lives, I think choice is always a good thing. So rather than saying, we are doing The Taming of the Shrew, period, I wanted to give you a menu of options to choose from because this is a month of your curriculum. And so you get to kind of decide out of, I think it's a list of 6 plays there, you get to decide which play you want to read, watch, take a quiz over, and then ultimately write your research paper about, because this will be your big literary analysis research paper for Comp 2, and you get to pick all that. So there's a couple of different kind of paths that you ultimately can walk with this paper. And one of them is the literary criticism path. Like if you want to be the real highbrow English scholar, there, as I mentioned in the document, there are several different lenses through which academic types can look at these plays. And there's a couple of links there that I've given that give you kind of sort of a toe dip into literary criticism and what that means. The video, I struggle with his delivery a little bit for personal reasons. He sounds exactly like my ex, I'll just go ahead and tell you. But he is pretty on point as far as giving just a very truncated basic description of what it is. And then I have a big list there of all the different lenses that people use. So that is there for you as a possible path. If you're like, what the heck does this even mean? This doesn't make any sense. I don't want to be an English major. I'm just here to be a nurse. Leave me alone. Then that's completely fine. And the other path is simply just, you can make any type of argument that is interesting about this play. And what I always tell my students is, you don't actually have to be that interested in Shakespeare, even though I am. You just have to be able to convince me that you are that interested in it and make an interesting argument about it. So it goes back to Comp 1, those argumentative skills that we learned. A lot of times when you do debates, you don't necessarily care that much about soda taxes or whatever the issue is. You still need to be able to make a good argument. And it's the same thing here. So for the other path, if you're not really interested in the highbrow scholar stuff, the best example that I have is kind of that Louder with Crowder meme, where the guy is sitting in a square at a college, and the meme always says something like really controversial or intriguing. And so it'll be like, the frog lady was the worst part of The Mandalorian. Changed my mind. She was. She's disgusting. I hate her. Change my mind. A change my mind paper. You can pick anything about your play that you feel like might be kind of a different point of view that other people might not have argued as often, and argue that. Or you can do kind of sort of a typical literary analysis and zoom in on like one aspect. When I used to teach A Doll's House by Henrik Ibsen, people would analyze little things like the role of dancing in the play, the role of clothing in the play, the role of candy in the play, and so forth. So there's a lot of different tacks that we can take. I can help you find topics It might seem a little daunting because normally, you know, we would have started in person, and I actually would have started with this immediately, so we could have talked face to face. But keep in mind, I am here to help you find a topic. And when it gets to that stage, that's why we're going to have that Discord channel where we'll all be publicly sharing our topics so that we know, number one, what's already taken, but number two, kind of get an idea of what other people are doing and maybe help you get some ideas and brainstorm as well. However, that is not your first piece of homework. So like I said, this is a month-long project. Your first piece of homework is actually pretty simple. I have posted in this post the list of plays, the links to them online where you can get them for free, and also the video productions of all the plays, because part of your job is going to be to watch the play, because a play is like a poem. I mean, we just shared some poetry, and I really have enjoyed looking at all the poems that you all shared. A poem's not really just meant to be read. It needs to be heard, and a play is the same way. It needs to be watched. It needs to be, you know, really experienced if you can be there in person. It's hard to do that, but that's why watching the play is an integral experience to this project. You can't just read it. So your actual homework for next time, for next Tuesday, which I believe is the 9th, is simply to pick your play. Just do some research, look into it a little bit. Don't look into it too much so that you don't spoil the play for you, but decide which play you want to do. There are tragedies there are comedies there, and there are tragicomedies. I was going to do Henry V, but we can't get you that one for free, and I don't want you to have to spend money on it. So, your first job is simply to decide, okay, I'm doing this play. Once you do that, you're going to go into the Discord, into the channel that says Shakespeare Project, and you are just going to type, I am doing Macbeth. I am doing The Taming of the Shrew. Boom. The reason for that is that I need to know which quizzes I need to prepare. I'm not just going to prepare quizzes for all of them. I'm going to only prepare quizzes for the ones that people are actually reading. So then that is your homework. That's your check-in. Like, that's how you get your homework points for this week. But once you have decided which play you are reading, go ahead and start reading it, because then by the 16th, it's due, and that's when your quiz is going to be. And then go ahead and start watching it as well. So your quiz is not coming up on the 9th, but as soon as you have decided which play you're reading, you may as well go ahead and start getting that ball rolling. So I'm throwing a lot at you. There's also some links about Shakespeare himself. It's just a brief biography, just the bare bones, what you need to know, and about original pronunciation. And original pronunciation is actually how it would have sounded to Shakespeare's audiences, which is completely different from how we think Shakespearean actors sound, or based on how they sound today. And that, I think, is it, but that is a lot, I know. So if you have questions about any of this, feel free to just ask in the comments underneath the post. Feel free to ask on the Discord, at Moto, Snapchat, RaiderNet email, whatever works for you. I don't want you to feel like you're in a vacuum and that you're having to do this totally alone. But essentially, your homework for next time is just to decide which play you are doing, go into the Discord and announce which play you have chosen for your project, and then go ahead and start reading it. So, if you need me for anything, let me know. I'm really looking forward to seeing which one you choose and kind of where things land. After that, you're going to be picking a topic, but again, you don't have to do that yet. You can't pick the topic until you've actually read and watched the play. You have to be able to formulate an opinion about it. So right now, you're just picking your play, deciding which one you want to focus on for the next month, and then going ahead and start reading and watching that. So thank you again for everybody who shared those poems in the Discord, and to everybody who responded to the Browning poems. It was interesting to read your thoughts on those. And since we are transitioning into dialogue now, I thought that the dramatic monologue was kind of a good way to move between poetry and theater. So now we are fully in theater, and I hope that you are all having a lovely week and that you are staying safe and warm in the snow. So if you need me for anything, just let me know. And yeah, Shakespeare time. Bye.